Welcome to Changing Your Narrative. Today's episode is focused on labels. Some of us have gone through our whole lives from the minute we were born with labels. I personally have had to carry many labels in my life and get to a point where I had to reveal them, bring them out of me, deal with the pain associated with those labels, and remove them, and replace them with labels and the right labels of who I am in this world. As children, sometimes we come from tough communities. I myself was born and raised in New York City in a tough community with poverty, low income, many limitations. Starting out in a life like that is tough right out of the gate. Going through the school system and being labeled by teachers, like guidance counselors telling you, hey, you can't do it. Your second language is English. You stutter. You can't read well. You have low comprehension and all that stuff. All that stuff followed me. Even labels that were handed down from generations in my family, I carried. And as I got older, those labels became bigger and bigger. You're not good enough. You're not smart enough. You don't have the education. You don't have the contacts. You can't do this. You can't do that. You're limited. You don't have the resources. All that stuff continues piling up in our lives. And I reached a point in 2019 where I had to address those labels. It was a very tough reflection in the mirror because I had to bring out all that stuff that was put in a closet, put behind me, that I didn't want to focus on, that I didn't want to even think about. Some of us do that. Some of us do that. We put it under the rug. We put it in the closet. Oh, it's not going to come out. We store it in that room where we tell people, don't ever go into that room. That room is a mess. Come here, sit in the living room or the kitchen with us. But that room in the back of the house, your apartment, is the one that has everything there from your childhood all the way to today. That follows you everywhere you go. And I had a point in time in life back in 2019 where I had to deal with those labels. I had to rethink and renew my mind and believe that I was wonderfully made, that I have amazing potential, regardless of what people have told me. I can get access to the resources I need. I can have a seat at the table. I can have a voice. I can have my own microphone. I cannot live with limitations. I can own that house. I can do this. I can do that. I can make a change in my community. I can impact others. I can lift others. I can bring others through. But it all started with that decision. In walking into that room, walking into that closet, and pulling and dealing with every label. As I pulled those labels, I forgave all those people. And I believe they didn't know what they were saying. I forgave them and I let them go because I did not want to spend the rest of my life carrying labels that other people put on me. Instead, I want to spend my life believing that I'm wonderfully made. I'm beautiful. I have a lot to offer this world. I have amazing potential. I'm smart. I have talents. I have gifts. You know what? I may not be gifted in this, but I'm gifted in that. And I'm here to make a change. So I want you to think about going into that room, going into that closet, going into that chamber, and think about those points in time that people have labeled you, and you're still carrying it. And it may come out in different ways: how you approach others, how you make decisions, how you work in the workplace. Because remember, those labels follow you, and you have to learn how to let them go. And I did. I learned how to let them go. I learned how to forgive people. I learned how to forgive myself and be kind to myself and put the right labels in my life. So thank you again for spending time with me today. See you on our next episode of Changing Your Narrative.